Rents all over America is fucking ridiculous right now. People are stealing, bro, not even the regular shit that they're stealing. Like, they're stealing baby diapers, deodorant, all the shit that's necessary because, bro, they can't sit here and keep on affording to pay for that shit every single time. We're coming to that time where if shit is not done sooner, you're going to see it all over the country because salaries is not going up to the rate that inflation is. And the Fed just keeps on raising the interest rate and it's like, bro, they can't afford, bro. We can't afford to live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Just a Know podcast, where we make knowledge your strongest weapon.
What's up, folks? As always, it's a pleasure to have you guys back. Your boy just over there, your boy Nas over here. And today we're going to have some fun talking about living situations.
Yes. So I don't know if you've been living under a rock because you're definitely going to feel this one, or I don't know if you have been feeling it already. The cost of everything has been going up due to the rise of inflation. So today we're going to talk about where we see the market and I guess living right now, how it's going to go and where we see it's going to be for the future. So what should we talk about first, man? I think we should talk about the present, man.
Yeah, first, I guess I'll make it a little side note. I wanted to get married in the, recent, months, I guess. But with the way things are set up right now, the amount life costs as just a single person, honestly, I don't think I want to pay for no groceries for two people, for more than two people. I think I'm good on that for now, my brother.
I mean, to be honest with you, like groceries right now are like at a point where you're paying for two people with just one person. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So it's like you and a married couple, me being Arabic, the man paying for all that. So right now I'd have a family of two, me and my wife paying for like five people.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Compared to at least like a year or two ago.
Yeah, that's...
So yeah, the marriage thing's on hold, all due to inflation. So you get the point and see how much of an impact it has on you when it's deciding whether or not you get married. Inflation is a pretty serious topic.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, we're going to talk about also how to combat later on in this podcast about how to, build yourself up to be able to outlast inflation in any market. Because it takes kind of like the simple things that you could do in any time period to, beat inflation. But I know you guys have seen, you go to the grocery store, you buy 1, 2, or even 3 items and it's damn near like $30. I like blink and that's just like $80, like for buying normal stuff inside of the supermarket. But I don't know if you guys have been seeing I want to say give or take, what I've been seeing when I've been going to the supermarket. Things has been increasing about a good like give or take like 5 or 6% every other week. You know what I'm saying? So like there was one day, I'm not an avid, milk drinker. I like almond milk. So one week I see it was like give or take $2.82 for a carton of unsweetened almond milk because I like drinking those type of things because
that Rick Ross shit.
Yeah, that Rick Ross. I eat pears type shit. And then the following week it was like at $3.02. So it's like you see how I just jumped 20 cents. So imagine you're buying those things at a like weekly clip. It's gonna add up some way in some sort. And the crazy part is, bro, and it's hard to is annoying to say this. Your salary ain't going up. Everything else around you is going up. So whether that be your groceries, whether that be your gas, whether that be your bills, everything is going up, bro. So you have to be able to make some type of extra income to be able to combat that. Because right now, at the way of the current market, shit is not going backwards, bro, at all, bro. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even for those people who their income is going up, it's not going up at the same rate. Cost of living is going up. It's not going up at the same rate. Rent's going up. Grocery expenses, all that. So even for the ones who have a increased income, whose income has been going up pretty steadily for the past 3 years, it's not at the same rate as inflation. So the ones who haven't had an increase in income in the past 2-3 years, those people are in a pretty dire situation. I like the example you use about going to the grocery store because that's unavoidable. That I mean,
We gotta eat.
yeah, everybody has to do that. Whether it's for yourself or for your mom or for your sister, whatever the case is, we all pay a visit to the grocery store. And the scary part about it is you don't really see people making that adjustments in their life to kind of, how you said, combat it. We're kind of reaching like it's going to get. This might not be something everybody really pays mind to, or at least they don't pay attention to or pay enough mind to. Is it might actually get to a situation where the level, like America's pretty well known for its poverty situation, So to add to that, for that to be even more intensified, for people to be in a more dire situation than the current state of our country right now, there's a lot of, I guess, bad days, but not just days, bad times in the horizon, on the horizon. There's a lot of scary shit coming our way. Like,
But you know what's crazy though, and it's real scary. Like before, like you could be able to like how do I say, limit your expenses on what you buy, but these are necessities, bro.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? These are necessities, so you can't sit here and be like, oh, I'm gonna try to limit how much milk I buy or how much eggs I buy. Like you're gonna consume unless you want to starve yourself or try to, I would say, lose weight, but it's like at that point, it's like safe. If you're already a healthy person, you can't really cut any more than that. So it's like you can't slow down the way how you buy certain things when it comes to necessities like food, water, your housing, all that stuff. You can't really limit those things. So if it keeps on increasing and then you don't have the money to pay for it, bro, like you're gonna be homeless. Like it's a fact that you're gonna be homeless because if you're a person that has credit, if you're not making enough money and your living expenses are increasing to the point where you're paying more than what you're actually making, you can use credit to like offset and wait for the future to be able to, how do I say, bounce back or whatever. But what if there's no bounce back?
Yeah.
And this is the prices for.
Or what if it takes too long to bounce back?
You're gonna be in way more debt than what it is, and then you're gonna be homeless, bro, because you can't afford to just basically live without. And I'm not saying not buying clothes, not buying shoes, not buying all the unnecessary shit. I'm talking about necessary shit, bro. We're not making enough money for us combating this inflation, bro. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's our on the horizon are some pretty scary times if you really think about it. When it comes to theft, when it comes to crime, when it comes to just chaos in a society, in a community, all that really stems from is just poverty and people's, need and urge to live. And right now, America is pretty it's pretty common for people to just commit crime. And, we have a sickeningly high crime rate. And that's only going to get worse when necessities come into play. Like right now, people commit crime for the silliest reasons. We have a very, I hate to say it, a very wicked population on average compared to like the mental space the average American is in is pretty unhealthy.
But you gotta also see, but why is it like that though? And I would say like for the stealing part, because I know this happens in California, especially that like California is like probably one of the highest states to like living costs wise. Like when you come to a normal person, what's gonna be the number one stressor inside of their life when it comes to living in America? Financial. So it's like for specifically California, bro, their theft has gone up over like I want to say 40 to 50%, bro. Because it's like one, they're not making enough to where they can afford their living expenses there because, bro, rents all over America is fucking ridiculous right now. Let me just say that. And People are stealing, bro. Not even the regular shit that they're stealing. Like, the the handbags, the clothes, the shoes, the jewelry, all that shit. I'm talking about they're stealing baby diapers, deodorant, all the shit that's necessary because, bro, they can't sit here and keep on affording to pay for that shit every single time. And they're stealing it, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, and we're coming to that time where if shit is not done sooner, you're going to see it all over the country. Because, like I said, salaries is not going up to the rate that inflation is. And the Fed just keeps on raising the interest rate and it's like, bro, they can't afford, bro. We can't afford to live. Shit is crazy, bro, to actually think about that.
I mean, listen, when it comes to being resourceful, this is a time where people need to learn how to be very resourceful, like how to really live with the minimally possible assistance from outside. And when I say outside, just like in terms of being a consumer, you know what I'm talking about? Back in the day, maybe not to this extreme, to the same extent of going out into the wild and hunting for your own food and stuff. But like people have to learn how to do certain things themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Washing clothes. Maybe it's about time. Maybe the laundromat visits have to stop. That's just a very, small example. I'm not saying this is the fix to inflation, but I'm saying like in general, this is a crucial time in our lives, especially in America, to learn how to really be resourceful, to really live like a third world country without as much access to all the resources and
convenience, bro.
And all the convenient services that America seems to offer. But that's really what really sucks the life out of us in terms of financial situation. That's what really makes people. You can't really, like, in a third world country, families, people, everyday citizens could legit go a whole day without really spending any money. I mean, and I'm talking about the ones who are, I guess you could say, starving, but they have enough just to live, just to get by and survive, minimal amounts of food, minimal amounts of water, minimal amounts of clothes, maybe not even no shoes on their feet, those type. Like, they do a lot of things that we also do, but we pay to do all those things, in terms of going to the store, in terms of going and getting our water, going and getting clothes, whatever it is, they function every day with very minimal expenses, almost none. If you just gave them, I guess, some rice and something to eat, they don't have to spend $1 to live that whole day.
That is facts.
So yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna need to get to that extreme. Hopefully not. It doesn't get to that extent.
But we can get somewhere close to it.
We have to learn how to do certain things. We have to pick up some life skills
by ourselves.
By ourselves in order to, further ease the stress.
Because it's crazy. Speaking that you say that, strip everything out, bro. And actually, I seen a little topic that NASA's saying that we might have an internetless age due to some stuff in space or whatever. That all internet might be shut down for a period of time.
That's great.
But it's great for people who are resourceful. But to the people that's not, that everything relies around the convenience of technology, they're gonna be fucked. So just like how you're saying, like, bro, I'm like, take everything else away, all of our luxuries, all of our convenience tools that we have in the world, in our nation, bro. What the fuck do people do, bro? They can't do shit for them, bro. They probably can't even wipe their ass for themselves.
No, people will legit faint from like just stress and the inability to maneuver and to carry on with, life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'll cause some people to actually like have, like a heart stoppage.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
I'll give you an example. I still know, a lot of people who come from overseas do things that you feel like really seems like they're doing too much, like they're putting too much stress on them. But they're like humble people, very, simple lives, and they don't make much money and they're just trying to survive and get by. And where I'm going with this is, like, I know more than one family whoever it is that goes to the store, like they don't have no vehicle, you know? So when they go to the store and to get groceries, the only cost they have in that whole trip is whatever the groceries is. There's people who, like Instacart, for example, right now, you are paying somebody so you, like, on top of whatever it is to already pay for this inflated ass shit. You know what I'm saying? How crazy is that?
And you know,
like, okay, yeah, the service is probably convenient, but we're heading towards basically an economic crisis. There's no room to be paying somebody a premium rate because you're not paying somebody to go get it. The person who's getting it for you also has expenses. So on top of them getting paid for their service, you have to cover their expenses too. So you're not really paying just like a regular fee. You're paying that person's expenses just to make the trip for you, which is like gas and time. And then you're also paying them extra for them to profit. You're paying them for the actual, the action. So it's like, this is an example of the certain type of things that, one, you should probably try to stay away from. Even if you have the means to, pay for that right now, is it really a smart decision? Like, there's a difference between being like financially comfortable and just financially reckless. Like, yeah, being financially comfortable, maybe you are able to do that right now. But should you really? I mean, probably not. Is that being cheap? No, because we're heading in a very scary direction. We're heading to a scary point right now where it's like you being extra, a little bit, you excessively spending right now for things that are very simple. Like, bro, just go get your own groceries.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's just, I mean, bro, being lazy has a fucking cost, bro. Being lazy has a fucking cost, bro. There's no way in hell, like, bro, like Uber Eats, bro. Uber Eats wouldn't be a thing if you wouldn't just get your ass up and go. You feel me?
Like, it seems so fun, bro, but it's just
it's
like,
when you have money. Bro, I'll be honest with you. When you have money, you can have convenience, bro. Like actual money, you can have convenience. But when you don't, bro, convenience is out the fucking window, bro.
Like everyday average Joe people,
convenience is out the fucking window. Cause, bro, how much money would you spend on Uber Eats? I don't know if you ever used Uber Eats before.
Bro, I don't use that shit. I swear to God, I don't. Anybody who knows me, I don't use Uber nothing.
So you never even used Uber Eats not once.
I have a couple of times, but not really on my own.
Yeah, but let's put it like this: how much did it cost you more
than whatever the food was gonna cost?
Yes.
I mean, let's say I ordered a $25 meal. You end up paying what, like $37 for that same $25 meal? And a $25 meal is a pretty healthy meal.
Pretty healthy meal. Like enough for like if you was to, like I said, we gotta savor what we have and be grateful. So even if you was to cut that meal in half and save it for the next day,
it would suffice.
It would suffice. But now you're paying almost $40 for that same meal because you're being lazy, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So like, imagine you doing that shit every day. That shit adds up, bro. An extra $20-something every day if you were to Uber Eats every day because you didn't want to get up and go buy the food yourself.
And every day is not a stretch. There's people who do this every day.
Every day. And you know what the crazy part is about Uber Eats too, bro? The prices are not what the prices are in the store, bro. They're still marked up.
They're still marked up. So you're paying marked up prices for a marked up service. And it's just crazy for you to be lazy. But the thing is, you're not really adding convenience to your life, because in order for you to have that money to pay for that extra convenience, you have to give a little bit more of your time, or work a little bit harder, or save a little bit less money. You have less money in your savings, or have less money.
But if you don't do those things,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're just throwing that shit away.
It's not really convenient. It's convenient for that one moment. Paying for Uber Eats on the spot saves you that trip, but it doesn't add anything else to your life. It takes away, and these are just, a lot of people are going to take it like literal, that one Uber example. They're going to be like, what are you, just like against Uber Eats? For you airheads, please just sign off now. We don't really need you on our video. 1, 2, share it to somebody who understands. And it's not, these are just very small examples of things that we really shouldn't allow ourselves to indulge in. These are things that maybe with the direction our country is heading towards right now, with the financial crash, nosedive that's kind of on the horizon, maybe it's not a good idea to overspend when you're living middle class, low to middle class, just average. Don't do this shit.
Yeah, I mean, Uber Eats is good for the people who don't have no time to actually cook and don't have the time to actually go drive out there. So, like, say if you're working, you ever take maybe a shift and a half.
Yeah, 12, 14 hours.
14 hours, you feel me? There's no way in hell you're going to have time to come home and cook and grocery shop and do it. And, I mean, you could make the time to do it, but you're going to sacrifice sleep for it. So, sleep over a little bit of money, but you're making the money to actually combat the, you feel what I'm saying? Then you gotta weigh your option of what you're capable of doing. But if you're just coming home, just an 8-hour shift and you got the rest of the day for you and you're being fucking lazy by going to order Uber Eats instead of one, cooking for yourself, because that's how you save the most amount of money. Even though groceries are at a crazy ass high, it's still better than fucking buying regular food outside. And then on top of that, you're doing Uber Eats, bro, and you have a car. So, bro, you're paying insurance, you're paying gas for a car that you're not gonna even fucking use to go get some food, bro. That's insane, bro. Especially when you're not making that type of money to warrant those type of things, or you have the time that warrants you to do those things, but you just choose not to because you're fucking lazy. It's gonna fucking cost you, whether you like it or not. And it might not be today, but when you and see, this is another thing too, bro. And this is how you really combat inflation, and it's just minimizing your costs. But nobody really knows their costs because out of how much people you fucking know, right? Go into their account, not only just look at the transactions, but like for each month, see in which areas they're spending at. Nobody knows. Everybody don't know where the fuck their money going.
Let me count. Hold on. I said just zero.
Zero. Nobody
even do that.
Nobody.
Shit,
yeah. Most people don't do that shit.
Mm.
So like when you don't do those things, you can't see where your money's really going. But if you don't want to sit there and go through bank account and then on some accountant shit, because you kind of need an accountant to do all those things. Because that's something you would probably, I would pay for that shit because I don't like doing that shit myself either. And I'm a business, I'm a business major and I own my own business. I don't like bookkeeping. So you feel what I'm saying? I pay for somebody for that. But it's like, there's a way how you combat that without even needing those people. Just don't fucking do it, bro.
Yeah, like simple stuff.
Just don't fucking do it, bro. Like, I would say this. Those are semi-luxuries. Things that are kind of necessities, but not, because it's food, time, all those things, right? But then let's talk about these streaming services, bro. I know a lot of people.
You mean LeBron not paying for streaming services, even though he makes money that we'll probably never touch in our life? See, that type of shit. Him being that, people call him frugal, but my man was dripped out in some in a fire expensive grill the other day. You know what I'm saying? So he's obviously not frugal. He just knows like this is something that will add to my life versus this not. Like he's willing to spend that money on the Diamond Grill, right? Because he enjoys that. He doesn't enjoy the streaming service enough to pay $6 a month or $10 a month or whatever the fuck.
But you know what's crazy though? And I will say this, man. The streaming services, I know a lot of motherfucking people. Especially how Netflix did this shit, because they're funny. They're funny people. I don't know why they didn't do this shit sooner. But the fact that you can't share your password with people outside of
it's like one user per account.
Or IP
or whatever.
Or IP address or whatever, which they're fucking smart. And I think every platform is gonna start doing that.
Absolutely.
So may feel real bad for you. But like it's not like it's hard to say, bro. Every person I know that uses a streaming service, bro, just doesn't have one, bro.
Yeah, it's never just
never just one.
No, they have multiple.
So it's like, all right, one is like $14.99, one could be $10.99, one could be $11.99, one could be $8.99.
We just stick to 2 or 3. What are you paying extra a month for something that you probably don't even really use?
But you don't use, and then on top of that too, you're probably watching maybe one bro, how many shows can you fucking watch in a time? Especially put like this too. Yo, inflation is coming to a point where, like I said, necessities are coming way too expensive. So where I promise you right now, and there's probably gonna be a stat about this somewhere, right? I promise you, in the next 2 or 3 years, if this does keep going on, I promise you about 30% of the population is gonna have to work a second income.
That sounds pretty accurate, honestly, and maybe there's another 30% who's going to resort to very low class decisions. Whether
Yeah. We'll call it that.
You guys translate that however you want.
Yeah,
but there's going to be a lot of people who that turns them into somebody they probably never wanted to be, or puts them in a predicament they never seen themselves in, envisioned themselves in before.
But we could touch about that just a little bit later.
Yeah, we can touch about that later.
I just wanted to say that. Just remember that though. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Right. Reason being is that with the streaming services, if most people are gonna have to fucking work a second job because they can't afford to, the regular necessities, right? Because rents is out the fucking roof, houses out the fucking roof, interest rate out the fucking roof, right? When are you gonna actually have time to actually fucking watch TV, bro? You feel what I'm saying? Most people work an 8-hour shift and then pick up a 4-hour part-time. So that's 12 hours a day, right?
And then you include regular daily things, bathroom.
Fuck it.
shower.
Fuck all that. Driving to work, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That's another 2 hours you eating off your schedule, right? You gotta come, shower, eat, and then sleep. When the fuck do you have time to watch 6 different streaming platforms?
Honestly, I don't know to answer your question, but I haven't known before because I haven't watched shit, and I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like this too. I really don't spend a lot of time or any time. I don't really remember the last time I watched a show, a movie, nothing. I really don't, other than maybe a movie for a one night out thing, but it's not something that I prioritize at all, or I even look for it. It'll just be another form of just killing time one night. But what I'm saying is, all these things we're mentioning, these aren't really things that seem so sad to give up. Honestly, there's two gains. It's a double-sided win, in my opinion. Other than the reason is probably bad. The fact that inflation is causing you to have to make certain adjustments. Obviously the source it sucks.
It sucks.
But
bro.
the actual result of cutting down, watching TV, cutting down, being lazy. That's where I'm saying we have to learn how to be. Why don't you just beat the curve? Why don't you just learn how to be more resourceful now? Why don't you just cut out certain shit from your life right now?
Yeah.
So when you do have to when it comes time where that adjustment is forced on you, it's not really an adjustment. You're already used to. You already built yourself tough enough. You already built a tough skin where it's yo, I'm gonna make do of whatever the hell the situation is. You know what I'm saying? I already prepared for this, and nobody is really. It seems everybody's kind of dismissing that and overlooking the fact that that's in the very near future. It's not some far-fetched idea. This isn't some imaginative, a very imaginative idea that we're speaking on. This is
this could be reality.
It's not no dream. It's not a fictional story or a fictional scenario. No. This is nonfiction. This is very factual and very realistic. And
it could happen in 6 months.
Yeah,
it could happen in 6 months.
Closer than you think.
Because honestly, bro, I don't know. Listen, we in New Jersey, bro. We in fucking New Jersey, right? Let's say that. The average rental in New Jersey for a 2-bedroom is $2,000, right? The average salary in New Jersey is between, give or take, 46 to 52, around there in that range. Bro, 2,000 times 12 is 24,000 after taxes. So you can make 52.
And bring home how much after taxes?
37, maybe.
So how much you have left over after rent?
Give or take 9,000.
Did you pay for food yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you pay for your car yet? No. Did you pay for your streaming services yet? No. So let's do. People hate fucking numbers, but let's just give averages right now, right? Gas. I pay $4,000 a year in gas.
Yeah, bro. I don't even know where my gas is at, but I don't want to know.
$4,000 a year in gas, right? You feel what I'm saying? And that's me going back and forth to work and maybe the odds and ends here and there, going to the gym, whatever have you. About $4,000 a year, right? Give or take. And that's before I even pay my car note, right? Which is another like $3,000 a year until you pay off your car, whatever have you. And then your car insurance, which in New Jersey, give or take, is about average $250 to $300 if you're a good driver. Come on, that's another easily fucking like $4,000 right there too.
You're already in the negatives.
So
like, if you're bringing home 40K, like clean, you're clearing 40.
You could be making 60, but you're bringing home 40.
Right?
And then you're paying half of that in rental. Where the fuck the rest of the money coming from?
I don't know. But
this is why people are in debt.
I want to share something too that was very significant. Like this is kind of, I don't know how much of a role it played into kind of like giving me the mentality I have, but I'm sure it contributed somewhat. But I had a teacher. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about elementary school, my brother. I had a teacher who was well over the age of 55, 60. I'm not too sure about the age, but I know he was over 55. It could have even been over 65. He was pretty old, but very healthy. And the guy was very simple, man. He was very simple. I don't know exactly what town he used to live in, but he used to come all the way to school. Mind you, he lived a few towns away. It wasn't the neighboring town. I knew that much. It might have been, this isn't going to make sense to a lot of people who aren't from the area, but he might have lived between like 10 to 15 miles away from our elementary school. And he used to come to school. My point is, he used to come to school every day on a bike, my brother. But why did he do that? First of all, it wasn't just him saving himself from like the expenses of, that's
a byproduct.
Yeah, it's of him traveling to and from work. It's two rewards. He gets the health in, the exercise, the health aspect, him building health. He enjoys bicycle riding. So it's a hobby of his anyway. He's not doing it just to save money. He's not doing it just to get his cardio in. Like he enjoys bike riding. You know what I'm saying? He gets his miles in daily. He's in tip-top shape. And imagine how much money he saved over the course. And I'm telling you, he was 65 doing this. So he's probably been doing this for a long time. Imagine how much money he's saved in his life between car notes, insurance, gas, repairs, all those things. Let's not get too much into the details. Like, if you have any type of brain, you could see where I'm going with this.
Put like this, bro. I'm going to say a very average number for owning a car in New Jersey. Car note, insurance, gas. Average, bro. Average. You're averaging out $8,000 a year. Averaging. You feel what I'm saying? So imagine, okay, give or take after you pay off your car, because unless you're from some crazy motherfucker and spending $70,000 for a car that you only make $50K, that's crazy. But besides the point, let's say average about $6,000 after car notes, whatever have you, insurance, blah, 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 if you paid off your car. So imagine $6,000 a year times 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, bro. That's like saving upwards between 50,000 to like over 100K in like a good short 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
Not having to own a car, bro.
Yes, sir.
So you saving a pretty penny, bro.
He was saving a pretty penny. And he was, but like, again, what I really want to push and harp on is like, he wasn't just saving it out of being cheap. It was just, there was so many more benefits aside from saving the money that came with how he lived, him being resourceful, him being a simple person and not so convenience seeking. Like,
now put like this, because I do want to say this too, especially for him, right? And I think you would probably agree with this. So if he was that type of person to ride a bicycle all the way to his work every day, right?
There's so many other areas of life
that he probably could have been doing the same thing too. So imagine how much money he was saving all around, bro.
Bro, this guy was probably making more than his salary. But how he lived,
for how much,
how resourceful he was probably making more than what he was actually making. If you get what I'm saying with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was making more than what he was making, bro. If he was bringing home $50K a year, like clean, that's what he was clearing. he somehow probably was saving 50K a year or more. Like, obviously, this isn't 100% accurate what I'm saying, but you get the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, you know what they say about rich people, bro. It's like, bro, you can make $1 million a year, but if you spend $1 million, you're still broke.
Why do you think athletes and entertainers are like, when it comes to people who make crazy amounts of money, they're usually the ones who go broke the fastest? Like,
Yeah, because the expenses outweigh
$1 million a year
income.
revenue business, the owner of that, or individual businessman, entrepreneur who's making $1 million profit a year is probably going to outlast an athlete who has a 10-year career where they made $20 million a year.
Yeah, if they don't have a financial advisor.
Yeah,
or
the average athlete. Yeah,
the average athlete that didn't come from anything, that didn't know about money, that didn't learn about money while they had the money to pay for the things like that.
It's
to
a
learn
mix of financial illiteracy and not being resourceful, being a very excessively spending person. Like,
Yeah, because I mean,
just
to
for
be
no
honest with
reason.
you,
For no reason.
wealth is really it's not about how much you make, it's how much you keep, bro.
Yeah.
So if you make $1 million a year, but you only keep fucking 50,000 of it, right? Who's gonna be more wealthier? The person that makes 200,000 but keeps 175 of it a year, only spends $25,000 a year. Come on now, it's gonna be the person that makes less but keeps more. So what we're trying to say here to really beat inflation, bro, is like you gotta sit down with yourself and just go through all of your expenses, bro. Like miscellaneous, fixed. Okay, let me stop being business terms right now because I think I'm tuning out the airheads right now. So sit down with yourself. This is how you beat inflation. You sit down with yourself, right? And look at what you're spending, whether it be your monthly costs or your here and there costs. That's a better way to put it. And look at how much you're spending every single month, man. Just keep a tally of it, all of it. And just check off the things that you could possibly live without, bro. Like you don't need to survive or to need to even be happy. Like, do I have enough time to actually use this? If you're not using it more than like, I would give or take like, now I won't say 50%. If you're not using it more than 70% inside of your life, you don't need it. You feel what I'm saying? If you're using it half the time, you don't need it. So just cross those things out. Stop paying for those things and see how much money you start saving. Because I promise you right now that the way how everything is going is going to keep on increasing. And the more that you spend on these leisurely convenience items and things, you're just going to just further just throw yourself inside of a hole. So for the time being, until things change, you have to adjust, bro. Because if you don't adjust, just like how they say, we're adjusting for inflation.
Yeah.
So you got to adjust as well. You can't be having the same type of spending habits and expect you're going to have the same type of money because your salary ain't adjusting. So if your salary is not going to adjust, you got to change your spending habits because if you don't, you're going to end up on the street. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah. And this requires a lot more attention and it calls for a lot more attention than what's currently being given to it. I feel like it's always the people who are more well off. Like if you were to look across just, the internet, social media, whatever, news, whatever, anybody who's calling, for attention to this subject, it's always somebody who's probably going to be fine during the period of inflation, during when, or the financial crisis that's about to hit us. They'll probably be okay. They're probably going to make it through pretty, in a pretty steady fashion. You never see the ones who are like really at risk of, I guess, suffering the biggest impact due to this inflation and due to this period that's in the very near future and seems to be closer than a lot of people give credit for. Those aren't the ones that are speaking about it. Like, so first of all, awareness is very important, just like in any space, bro. In any subject, political, it doesn't matter what it is. Awareness is so important. So you have to be aware and really acknowledge that this thing is real and, take it that step further and start really eliminating the aspects of your life that when it comes to expenses that you could really live without. And it's a win-win situation. You don't just spend less money. You don't just prepare yourself for this financial crisis. You don't just like you might get more healthier by, a side effect, a good side effect. You might be more healthier by taking the walk instead of paying Instacart. You might, find more joy in the simple side of life, the simplicity of your lifestyle as a result of making certain changes that might actually uplift you. And you'll be surprised the positive impact of being very simple, of being very in the moment. That's why people use such services. It's like nobody's really happy with just comfortable with their state of life. Like something always needs to be given to them. A service always needs to be provided. A convenience always needs. We live in a society where there's always something that we want more. Okay, we have everything. Now what more do we want? We're never satisfied. Nothing ever suffices.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever enough. It's always what is next? What is next? And it's never what is next as in what could we find next? What could we do next to, produce a bigger result or to put ourselves in a better position? It's always like, what, I guess, tedious task in life could we remove from our life and pay for? Just so we have to make more money in order to afford these. It's so backwards, bro. Like, why don't you just learn how to cook? A lot of people might find some joy in cooking and they never thought they would. But now, learn how to cook, my boy. Let me correct myself. Learn how to cook. My fellow sister, learn how to cook. My brother, learn how to cook. But mostly my fellow sister. But for real, learn how to cook. Everybody. That's just one thing. I don't know. Maybe go back to your younger days when you used to have fun riding a bicycle, and instead of sending somebody to go get your groceries, take that 2-mile bike ride and go get your groceries. These aren't things that we could it's not so easy to make. These are just ideas. It's not easy to make those changes. Not everybody's going to be really willing to make these adjustments.
I mean, to be honest with you,
throwing out shit and see you see what sticks. You try one thing, two things, see what sticks, see what you could really eliminate.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, bro, we just got to start slow, bro. I mean, you don't got to sit there and I'm just going to cut everything off one shot. Like,
turn into the Amish or something.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. I don't want to get canceled for this, so I ain't gonna say what it's gonna say. But we don't gotta resort back to like having horses or something. But you just gotta stick to cutting out one thing at a time and just seeing how if we could live without it. Just see what can you live without. Like go a month without living without it, and then just start that with other things, and then you could see how much money it's actually saving you in the long run. Because, bro, it's people never look at the long run of things when it comes to their finances, bro. Like, if everybody had a personal accountant attached to them, I think that would change a lot. Because it'd be like this. Because, like, see, with my accountant, you go through categories, right? Or even, I know how to count, too. So when I was doing this for myself, it was just like, all right, category A, which is, like, necessities. Yeah. You're spending this amount. Category B is like, movies and food and all those things. You feel me? Then it's like all the other auto expenses, phone expenses, transport, travel. If you see how much money you're actually spending over the year, you're going to be like, oh, nah, I'm wilding. Like, I'm bugging right now. Like, I got to cut some of this shit down. But nobody sits there and sees it. So it's just like throwing your money into a black hole. Like, yeah, you feel me? I'm not going into the negative, but that's how it looks like. You're not going into the negative, but overall you are, because some people are using credit to buy these things that they can't afford. And I'm telling you, credit's a fucking problem when people don't know how to use it the right way. Because yeah, you could be spending $1,000 on your credit card and then next month pay it off, right? And then have a zero balance. But then you're loading that credit card again and doing the same thing. But then look at your savings account. Your savings account has not been touched in the last 4 or 5 years. Because you can afford it, which is not really afford. Because you can pay for it, doesn't mean you can actually afford it.
Yeah, I don't know. We could go endlessly about really
shit, bro.
changing, certain aspects of your life. But I really think the core of it is the laziness and the search of America breeds this mentality of how could somebody else serve me
Instead
even
of
if it
you
costs
serving
me.
yourself,
Yeah,
bro.
how could other people help me coast through life instead of being self-sufficient? We eliminate. That's it.
We're dependent
We're
as
literally
country,
dependent
bro.
on everything, every outside resource. We can't do nothing by ourselves.
Nothing.
There's so much. You could even take it a step further when it comes to like obesity. America's up there with highest rates of obesity.
Bro.
When it comes to like depression, and a lot of people really, really overlook the toll, the impact it has on us from our just very simple lifestyles, bro.
But
Like we're over here laughing, talking about, we don't really need to take it to the extent of reverting back to being on horses. But honestly, those people are probably happier, healthier, live longer.
Bro, because I mean, to be honest with you, all these conveniences, bro, it's just... And honestly, we'll get into another episode about all these things, but it's like, bro, it just adds into everything else. So like all this laziness, all this convenience just adds up to everything else. Why are people more obese? Because the things that you were doing that physically were normal back then are now being replaced by conveniences, and that we're not going to get to do it. So like cars took out the sense of you having to bicycle, walk, get some physical activity. So that's out the window. I mean, cars are a big help. So I'm not knocking that. But then you have just basically going to the store, like a store I know I used to hear some Uber stories, bro, and like the store was like 5 minutes away. Walking.
From the person who for the Uber service.
Exactly. And they be sitting there like, yo, why the fuck you couldn't just walk and go get the shit? Oh no, I didn't feel like doing it. And that's the little activity that you could have got that you didn't get because of the convenience. So then now that brings into the obesity side of why people are, overweight and this, then, and third. And then why are people not happy? Because one, they don't make enough money to do what they want because they spend so much money and nobody even is holding themselves accountable for spending, money. Oh, I need that. No, the fuck you don't. And then you look at the fact that they're eating a certain way because they don't want to choose to eat healthy and just then a third, right? So then now your body feels like shit because you're overweight, right? Or you're or obese or whatever. And then you can't do certain things. And then that leads to the degradation of your mental. So all these things play in accord with each other. And nobody really thinks that deep. And on this podcast, we're trying to make knowledge your strongest weapon. So you got to look at it from the first part is your mind. You got to become tough to know how to live without in order to be able to combat this rise of price, bro.
I want to add, not to cut you off. I want to add another little wrinkle to this that might not really be on point or on topic with the inflation necessarily. But think about how sick it is, for real. Take a second to think about how sick it is that we've given up the urge, the willingness, the want to be self-sufficient, that we've in fact put it in other people's hands to essentially decide what goes into our bodies. And what I mean by that, in layman's terms, is in countries where they do more of their own things, they're more hands-on with what really happens in their daily life. They go and plant shit in the ground. They go to the, grow their own things. They, go and pick their own things. They go and take the walk to the fruit market, whatever, the food market. In countries like that, their food is even healthier. Why? Because it's really in their control who's touching it and how they're touching it. What I mean by that, again, to translate it, is in America, like you're paying Uber, or Instacart for somebody to go get you some GMO ass food that's already unhealthy for you. So you're paying money to get poisoned. You know what I'm saying? And all this is a byproduct of leaving it in other people's hands, of being so not self-sufficient, of being so reliant on other people to provide you with basic things that you leave it to their hands, you leave it in their hands, up to them to decide, like, yo, we just gonna, to mass produce this shit, we're going to add chemicals to the shit. Now we're eating unnatural stuff. Now our oranges are poisonous, while another third world country that we laugh at for being a poor country, they have healthier food than us.
Bro, put like
you know
this.
What I'm saying? Like, how crazy is that? We're paying extra to get poison.
No, it's crazy.
I don't know, man.
This is kind of off topic.
I might just start eating the leaves in my backyard.
Yo, it's crazy. Most people's backyard, they don't even have not one plant. Like edible plant, bro. They don't have no tomatoes, nothing, bro. They get them shits from the grocery store, but
The sprayed shits.
honestly,
Where do we go, bro?
it's so much places that we can go with this topic, man. We need to definitely have another episode on this, but for the sparing of time, man, honestly, listen, guys, and I'm being really genuine and honest. In the next couple of months, next couple of years, it's not looking too well for the regular population of people.
It's not funny, bro, but I can't stop laughing.
Just cut the shit out, bro. Just cut the shit out, man. Cut the leisure shit out, bro, because it's getting to a point where necessities are damn near costing just as much as luxuries, bro. And we're not making enough for it, bro. So you have to keep your body in shape so that you can go get a second job, because I'm telling you that right now, bro. For most people that don't have certain type of educations or doesn't have certain type of values in their life that's valuable as a person, like mentally, where their output brings in that much value, you gotta put in the time, bro, and you're gonna need a second job. So the only way that you be able to do 12-hour to 16-hour shifts every single day, man, you gotta physically be able to do that and mentally be able to do that too. And the only way that you're gonna be able to mentally do that is being physically, because once your body kind of poops out, your mental is going to do the same thing. So for you to be strong is a balance. You got to be physically in shape and you got to be mentally in shape to be able to put in these type of hours. So, and that's the only way that you're going to get yourself out of this rat hole. So
all in all,
limit.
my brother, when your wife tell you to fix the sink, instead of you paying extra for a plumber, you go learn how to fix that sink, right? Use that as a learning moment. When your wife tell you she need an oil change, my brother, lift that car up, let that oil out, and make that oil change instead of going paying $60, $80, whatever you pay to go get your oil change. Whenever it comes to simple tasks that, first of all, you'll get a lot of joy out of it, or I guess you could say, first of all, you'll save the money. Second of all, there's other beneficial side effects of doing such things, of being self-sufficient, of being able to manage your everyday life, simple parts of your life without needing to spend money on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us too, it's a crazy part. A lot of people who are paying for these consumer services and these these services that offer convenience are people who really have the time to do their own things. We're not talking about the busy person, the executive of a company that doesn't have time for shit. We're talking about everyday average people who work 8-hour shifts and they got so much time, but they'd rather pay so that they can have more time to watch
bro.
20 minutes worth of Instagram while they're on their toilet, or to watch an extra episode at night of whatever bullshit whack ass show they're watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the people we're talking about. Bro, go learn how to do something, bro. Be active. And when your wife tell you to go fix something, let her have that. Like, first of all, you'll be happier. Second of all, you'll save the money. Like, there's just so much benefits to learning how to be self-sufficient and how to go through life without really needing outside help for anything and everything. You should want to be able to manage your own life, like 95% of your own life. Everything that's in your control that could be done, that's within reach, just do it. Until you get to the point where you're really 16 hours a day occupied by whatever business, whatever needs your attention, and you really have no time for everyday simple tasks, maybe then, yeah, you start using these convenience services, absolutely. But if you're not one of those people, then maybe it's about time with this inflation on the rise on very near future, reconsider how you're living. And there's a multitude of benefits.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I want to leave you guys off with, man, and this is very simple for anybody, even the airheads could understand this. When you go to buy something, first of all, ask if it's a necessity or if it's something that's leisurely, right? So, do I need it or do I want it? That's one. Two, count how much hours. If you work one job, how much do you get paid an hour? And no, I'm not talking about the gross amount. So, say if you make $25 an hour, I'm not talking about making $25 an hour because you're not getting all that full 25. After taxes, how much you getting? Probably like maybe $17, $18 an hour, right? So if you make $18 an hour net, which is after taxes for airheads, is what I'm buying worth X amount of hours? Ask yourself that question. And then if you want to, dabble in that leisure or dabble in that what you so-called necessity, understand whatever comes with it. And when you're broke and you don't understand because you couldn't, is it really worth my time? And you feel like it was. Remember, time is something that we can't get back, so we gotta use it sparingly. So this has been another episode of the Just to Know podcast, where we make knowledge your strongest weapon. Guys, please subscribe to the goddamn channel. I'm tired of people just, scrolling past and watching for a long time and not subscribing. We're trying to provide value for you each and every single week. And also, if you're listening to this on any of the podcasts, please give us a follow, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music. Anything you want to say with them, Nas?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you just got to be more diligent, just move smarter, be more productive, stop being useless. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're a loser, I pray for you. Yeah, man. As always, it's a pleasure having you guys here. Inflation may or may not break you. It's up to you. It shouldn't be up to somebody else. Thank you guys for coming. As always, it's been a pleasure. God bless, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Peace.